Do you feel like he is using PEDs? Do you think he's a doper?
To be honest with you, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Number one, but I was fighting for years before USADA was a thing. I've been fighting people on steroids my whole career. So it just genuinely doesn't matter. And I think with it, without it, Jon Jones is one of the greatest talents we've ever seen in MMA. And I don't think that any of that other stuff matters. I don't think that stuff would change that. With it or without it, Jon Jones is going to be the world champion. And that's just how it is. And that's the guy I'm preparing for. So it's all just a big distraction. And that's why I tune it out and I don't talk about it. And I genuinely don't care, man.
Dana, we got from Ben kind of what it's like for him to be up there. What about for you? What's it like? It seems like you're cracking a smile, enjoying him being up there. What's it like after all this? Yeah, having Ben Askren up there.
Yeah, it's great. Listen, I'm the one that wanted to bring Ben Askren into the UFC. I made this decision. He's here. He's a UFC fighter, and we're cool. I'm cool anyway. I'm sure. There we go. 2 thumbs up. We're good.
I'm good also. All I need is opportunity. As long as you don't prevent me opportunity, we're great. And hey, man, as long as I keep winning fights, I'm going to have lots of opportunity.
How soon do you think we can see Khabib back in the cage? And is it possible that it would happen here in Nevada? Because it sounds like he's saying maybe that he doesn't want that either.
Right. Yeah, no, I haven't talked to them yet. Yeah, we'll get it figured out.
If that 165 becomes available, America-Russia is always a great storyline. It always is. From since the Cold War. America and Russia. Think about that. Think about how it sells. Think about that.
165, 165 isn't happening.
By that point, we're going to have 20-0 Ben Askren versus 27-0 Khabib. Someone's O's got to go. America versus Russia. I will get on his back and I will chant USA.
I ain't backing up. You hit me, I'm still coming. And I'm coming all night long, T. Wood. Please don't back up.
Brother.
Don't back up, my man. Don't back up.
Bruh.
Marty, you
I'm your mentor.
Hey, listen.
You talking back to your mentor right now.
When you hear and new, you're going to feel real special when you're walking backstage.
You don't even believe that yourself. You want to be so cool. You want to sound like LL Cool J. You don't even believe it yourself.
I don't believe it.
You don't even believe it yourself.
You believe it, though. Hey, you believe it. You've been a good champion.
Oh, my God.
You've been a good champion, T.
Here come LL Cool J.
You've been a good champion, T. Thank you, T. You've been a good champion.
Let me get my chapter.
You've been a good champion. You know what? This is one thing. This is one thing I want to tell everybody.
You've been a good champion.
You know what?
Who was that? What?
Oh, who was that?
What?
Who was that?
What?
I'm going to tell you, you've been a good champion.
I want you to tell me how you're going to do it, though. That's what I want you to provide me.
All right, let's get another question, you two. Let's get another question.
The promoter's not your friend thing. Do you think that's what Colby Covington has?
Oh, well, I mean,
are you really going to bring him in?
Let's come on.
We can't go a whole interview without asking about Colby.
Colby's so dumb.
You're really going to bring Colby in?
Contractually,
Colby could have fought me this time. He could have fought me the last time. So Colby is not his own friend. He's walking around like he's the champion of some organization that he's not. He had a chance to fight me in September. He had a chance to fight me in January. He had a chance to fight me. When did we fight?
But Colby was too dumb. He thought the promoter was his friend. He thought, hey, this is my buddy. He's gonna do everything good for me. He's gonna take care of me.
I got dirt on Tyron, and I'll tell you all this and the boss and this and that and this, and now he looked dumb.
He looks so dumb, and now he continues to look so dumb.
I'm still gonna beat him up though.
You still want to?
I have to.
You think?
I know.
It can't just sort of go off into the ether.
I think the world wants me to beat him up.
Yeah.
And I don't want somebody else to get a chance to do it.
Is there any chance at any point in time that you and Dana White will be best buds, driving in his car like he did with Conor down the Las Vegas Strip?
I mean, wild shit happens in the world, but that'd be one of the wildest. Wouldn't that be wild?
Have you spoken to him outside the press conference?
No.
Not at all.
He doesn't want to talk to me. I don't know what his issue is.
You seem like a fun guy to hang out with, Ben.
I would be. I think that, like I said, I don't know what his issue is. No one's ever explained to me. He's never explained to me. I don't know what his problem is. I tried to sit down with him, have a civil conversation, because that's what I do with people I don't see eye to eye with. He didn't want to sit down with me. So I don't know, unless you guys get what his issue is, I don't know.
Was this recent?
That was in New York when I got traded. I said, hey, we got to work together. Let's sit down and hash it out. And he said, we're good. Okay, whatever.
That settles it then. How do you beat Robbie Lawler?
Wrestle him. right? Get close the distance, wrestle the shit out of him.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, listen, can you imagine a scenario where this is a ground battle and he wins? You can't. So, simple.
Can you get him down?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not saying 100% of the time, but I will get him down.
Well, man, you're welcoming Ben Askren into the UFC. This is a guy who I think for a long time a lot of people have wondered how he would do here. When you look at this fight, you've been around the game for a long time. Is this anything new for you? Do you see anything new in Ben Askren that you haven't seen before?
Yeah, he's funky. He's does some stuff. I mean, I've seen guys sort of like him, wrestled with guys who kind of can emulate him, but everyone's different. Once you get in there, you have to figure it out. But, I mean, he's a wrestler, good scrambling, and I'll be ready.
There was a time, I think it was 2010, you were still kind of in the regional circuit in the Midwest, and your record was 5-6. And now it's 2019, and you're fighting Jon Jones in the headliner of a pay-per-view in Las Vegas. That is a wow.
It's wild. Yeah, you know, if you really look at my record, like if you look at it post 2011, you can see there's a significant change, and that's when I had my first kid. When I became a father for the first time, that kind of put everything into perspective. I've always credited Araya with not only saving my life, but saving my career, and really being that person that needed me. And it really, you know, I grew up and really put life into perspective for me. And I've had my hiccups, you know, since then. I've had my ups and downs and struggles and made mistakes and done stupid stuff. But, you know, I've got it figured out now. And I think that's all that matters. And as far as, you know, being here and fighting Jon Jones now, this is exactly where I always thought it would be. I never knew who it was going to be against, obviously. But I always knew that at some point in time, I would be right where I am now.
When you watch that, I mean, you have gone through so many challenges at this point. You always are doubted, and you're always the underdog, and you always prevail. When you watch what he's doing, I mean, does it part of it just make you laugh?
All of it makes me laugh. I mean, he's a tough fighter, and he's got my respect. He got my attention. I didn't train for him as if he was any less of an opponent than the guy I trained for the fight before. Feel good, feel amazing. You guys are seeing it on Saturday that it's game time. You'll see why I keep saying I'm the greatest welterweight of all time.
Well,
he rolled me around. Okay, well, let me see. You want to try now? I'm not in front of everyone, so I might not be so shy. I'm funky, taking on Ruthless.
I'm going to leave him toothless.
I'm going to leave him toothless. T Wood said, let's hit the booth. I said, yo, homie, let's do this. Ever since I've been in the UFC, people are blowing up my phone line. I ain't about games. I'm zone time. Wait, hold on. I made up a new headline for you. Once I'm done with these welterweights, even Dana's going to have to say I'm great.
Wow. All right. That was excellent.
Doesn't bother me, which he didn't do that.
What did he do?
He touched me, but he didn't touch me on my butt, so not a big deal. I'm focused on doing these interviews.
You ain't got no energy. That's right. You ain't got no energy.
Have a dance off. Dance off.
You can't stop it. You can't stop it. Enjoy getting knocked out Saturday night, scrub. You're still number 2 in the world.
I thought it was a bum. Like, I looked over and it looked like a bum on the street that bought one of the little, you know, the little replica belts, and because he had some hat on too, some little trucker hat. I was like, oh, is that a bum? Then I had to look closer and I saw it. There's a reason it's roped off and you're outside the ropes. You could have been inside. You're outside. So stay on the outside and keep making noise. I don't really care about that.
You feel like it was over the line for him to come try to maybe steal your spotlight a little?
No, that's what you expect for guys like that. You know, I don't care. If, you know, after I'm done with Tyron Woodley, if he plays his cards right, he has to beg me now. Because 5 times I've been offered that fight. I've accepted all 5. He's declined all 5. All you guys know that. He's declined it. So he has to beg me for that fight now.
And here we go, Jon Jones to the scale now. Wearing bathrobe.
Bathrobe bones.
I like that. Well done, Mark. Loud applause here from the back for Jon Bones Jones, the UFC light heavyweight champion who headlines this card against Anthony Smith.
205.
Yeah. 205 for Jon Jones as he lists off all of their various foods that he has eaten. Fruit, oatmeal, the works.
Easy peasy. Jon
Jones enjoying himself.
Okay.
Showing some skin, Jon Jones.
$205.5.
205.5 for Johnny Walker. And if it feels like we just saw him, it's because literally earlier this month we did. And hey, look who it is. The star of UFC 235 Fight Week, Ben Askren.
Ben Askren wanted the hoop just for fun. Oh, he's getting the towel, though.
He's getting the towel. Ben Askren here making his first UFC weigh-in.
You guys can wait years for this shit. I can't talk.
Bob Bennett tells Ben Askren not to talk, and he is not happy about that.
170.5.
170.5 for Ben Askren. He makes weight for his first UFC fight. And Ben is not used to the routine here at the UFC morning weigh-ins. Ben Askren, you get no pose. Mr. Funky.
The UFC promised that the real welterweight champ would be here this weekend, so I'm here as the real welterweight champ. This is the #1 contendership fight this weekend. That's all it is.
So you came in to make sure that your voice was heard and that your presence was felt a little bit?
Dude, I'm the people's champ. I came among the people. There ain't none of these other fighters are coming out here hanging out with the people. I'm the people's champ, man. I'm putting it on the line for all these people, and someone's got to entertain them, man. All these freaking clowns in here, they're boring, man. They're supposed to put their opponents to sleep. They're putting the fans to sleep.
Jon Jones, Anthony Smith, who wins that main event fight for the light heavyweight title?
Oh, my good buddy and former roommate Jon Jones is gonna knock out Anthony Smith. It's he's a cheater and it's a joke. He's failing tests, but that's how the UFC is today. So it is what it is. He's still gonna get the hand raise.
Co-main event: Tyron Woodley versus Kamaru Usman. Apparently, the next contender for your interim title here.
Yeah. Most likely, Tyron Woodley is gonna knock out Snoozman, but it could be a bore fest. So I had to come out here and please the fans because they might be disappointed tomorrow night.
And how about Ben Askren versus Robbie Lawler? Ben Askren's kind of said some things about you too this week.
Dude, how many fights he had in the UFC? He hasn't had any fights in the UFC. He's a 36-year-old virgin. Like, who cares about Ben Askren? Like, let's be honest. Like, the guy's not beating anybody. So, unless they're 10 years past their prime, like Robbie Lawler. So
Hannah, I think we have been told that you injured your arm or going to the hospital, but here you are in front of us. What happened?
It's a little sore. I'd like to kind of skip going, but
you don't want to go to the hospital.
Sure. I want to see the rest of the card.
So you may have a broken arm, but you're gonna hang out at T-Mobile Arena for the rest of the night.
I would like to. It feels okay.
When did you injure your arm? When was it?
Towards the end of the first round, it felt a little sore, but
Do you know what caused it? Was it a kick or?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's really exciting being on this bigger card. It's always really exciting for me to get to see people like I've watched on like fight since I was younger, and coming up fighting, and it's really like surreal to get to meet them in person and even be on a card with them. Is like, it's just a lot.
Yeah, so we planned for her to do one of two things: either come forward real heavy or kind of float back to like against the cage. And as soon as we broke off the clinch and I saw her float back towards the cage, I just set up right, left, right, and I mean she just kept going back, so I knew I had her at that point.
So you guys saw that she does that, and you said,
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
what
we
I'm gonna do
planned.
if she does
We
that.
studied her extensively, and we planned very well for it. So.
You look very confident, just swinging those hammers.
Yeah. I've been doing it for 12 weeks, so I'm basically for years now. But these last 12 weeks have been just a lot of work. So yeah.
So I think we've seen those elbows before. Did you learn that from your buddy Travis Brown?
Of course, Travis has trained with us before, and definitely watching his fights, seeing him do that in training, seeing him do that in fights, I took it out of his work and used it in his fight.
Did you know that because of the angle of where his head was, you were able to get those elbows
definitely.
right away?
I knew after I tagged him with the 1-2, he got a little hurt. That's why he dived in for the leg, and after that, started landing those elbows, and I wasn't gonna stop until the ref pulled me off.
Have you heard from Ronda or Travis yet since the fight? Have they texted you?
I got a text from Ronda.
Yeah,
so,
what'd she say?
Congratulating me on the fight.
That's gotta be pretty cool, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Big star, Ronda, texting you.
Absolutely.
I just did not fight well tonight. I don't know what I was doing. I was staring at myself in the mirror there. I just, I didn't pull the trigger, and that's just not what I've been training to do. I've been training to be a killer. I really, honestly, leading up to this fight, thought I was actually going to run through Alejandro Perez. I mean, the kid does hit hard, and he's it's hard to explain the way he fights. He doesn't really let you get away with anything. He's a really, really tough kid, but I'm better than what I showed tonight, and I want to get back in there as soon as possible and prove that, because I was hitting on 6 out of 8 cylinders tonight.
I was expecting a finish. I was expecting a first round finish, but first round didn't play out the way I anticipated it to. I rolled with it. I went with the flow of things. I expected to go in there, blow him out, put him up against the cage, put him down, work my ground and pound. Didn't go like that. The young man, he came in with a lot of emotion, a lot of aggressiveness. He wanted to use all that striking work that he had put in with Joe Schilling, putting in all that hard work. And when he got in there, he hit me with one punch. Well, he hit me with one punch where it was I seen it on his face. It looked like he was lifting weights. It looked like he was lifting a hard, heavy weight, like pushing. I was like, oh, 10 more of these, 20 more of these. This guy's not gonna have no gas in the tank. He cut more weight than me. This guy's gonna gas. I was like, this guy's gonna gas. I'm gonna change my game plan. I'm gonna play a little bit of rope-a-dope, because I felt good with the movement and the blocking and the moving. He wasn't hitting me with anything solid that was hurting me. And Diego Sanchez at 170 is twice as durable as the dried out, unrested, unfocused Diego Sanchez at lightweight. I'm fine. I understand I can't fight forever. But as long as I got it in me and I'm coming out the cage unscathed, look, man, I'm feeling good. I don't got concussions. I feel sharp. I feel clean. And I just fought a 27-year-old young, hungry lion.
What we're gonna do to get the victory? They know I kind of like to brawl, but also they were make sure I was being smart, especially at the beginning of the fight. Hurting him with the kicks, starting because we know that he's very emotional, he's starting to get kicks and punch, things like that, and then he goes to kill. And that was the moment that we were working to get in on that counter punch and then knock him out, or get just a hold. And once you touch that chin right there, he would go down. I tried to get a guillotine, Probably I don't remember, but I remember going to his neck, but he did a pretty good job to go on his back and defending the guillotine attack. But later on the fight, we were able to connect the chin again and get the victory. And that's one thing, that a quote that I take with me, like, we live by the sword, we die by the sword. And it's exactly what happened tonight. I knew in that exactly moment that it could go any way, could go either way, but I'm very grateful that we got the victory tonight.
You dislocated it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's okay now.
Yeah. Look here.
I see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first point when I lie down the first time, I feel. No, I have to train more because I don't train this celebration. Everything I train, I do well. Like I train not in flying knee, I train my punch, then I happy, good. But I don't train celebration, then I have like this.
After this win, where do you see yourself now in the division? Because Torres has been a top contender for a long time.
这个顶尖的挑战者，你把他给打败了，然后你现在觉得你在量级处在一个什么位置？
我觉得肯定打败他，应该在前10了吧，应该在对。
Top 10 definitely.
Just top 10, not higher.
就是前10啊。
现在是前10，但是我的目标肯定是冠军啊。因为所有的人都想拿冠军，然后这样才可以，我觉得才可以。怎么说？证明自己，我觉得。
Yeah, it's only top 10 right now, but my final goal is to be the champion in this division. And being champion is a dream of every fighter, and this is the way that that fighters can prove themselves.
然后中国有一句话就是不想当将军的士兵不是好士兵。
There is an old saying in Chinese that the soldiers who doesn't want to be a general is not a good general. He's not a good soldier.
I mean, shit happens in there. Sometimes there's mistakes being made. Herb checked on me, and when he checked on me, I gave him the thumbs up, and he came in there. I couldn't hear him talking because of how the choke was on. My head was on his body on this side, and his arm was over here, so I couldn't hear him talking. And I'm not going to just dangle a hand there, so I just put it down, and then when he checked, I gave him the thumbs up and looked right at him. I was like, hey, man. Fuck, I'm good. I mean, it happens. I mean, he's a hell of a ref. He just made a mistake.
Any talk to the commission or to him or ask? I mean, I think replay could have been a possibility here about why maybe more steps weren't taken.
Yeah, I don't make excuses. I just kind of like roll with the punches and try to be positive about the situation. I mean, I'd like to run it back. I mean, it is what it is, but I just don't like making excuses, even if if stuff like that happens, whatever.
Before that madness, you almost ended the fight yourself. I mean, give us an idea. Did you think it could have or maybe should have been stopped when you were wailing on him?
I mean, it was. I got to go back and watch it, but I guess I slammed him pretty hard and hit him with some big shots that I felt like he was hurt pretty bad. He battled back. It was good, but I mean, whatever.
He came in a little earlier and handled himself with class, but did say he'd really like to run it back. Considering the way it ended, would you be open to a rematch?
Not really. I mean, I didn't really want to fight him in the first place. I like Robbie Lawler a lot. What's the point? Right now, I got a plane ticket to London. I heard they gave Colby Marty, which that's kind of annoying. Nobody likes Colby. Just get him out of here, please. I thought he was getting traded or something. So I'm going to go to London. Till versus Masvidal, that's like 3 versus 6, 3 versus 7. I think the winner of that's probably going to be top 3. And that's who I'd like to fight.
And sometimes you just have those fights when you go out there and it's like a badass dream. You want to punch hard, but you don't punch. You want to move forward, but you're stepping back. So I had too many moments in there. And Kamaru, he came out there and he won. So I still believe I'm the greatest welterweight of all time. So now my path is getting back and getting the belt. Sometimes everyone thinks that, proving that means you go on a streak and you don't lose and you're undefeated. But sometimes the greatest champions have to face adversity and bounce back and win. So I'm looking to try to run that fight back. No, he didn't have a crazy pace. I mean, he was just kind of fainting and squatting, and he just made you very well aware that he wanted to clinch and he wanted to get close. And sometimes fighters, they want to prove they can stand with you. They want to prove they can bang. And I said that a long time ago. I said one thing, if I had to give him an attribute, his composure for a fighter who hadn't fought a long time. And he kept that composure. He stayed to the game plan. You know, he took his time. He was patient. And, you know, it just wasn't a good night for me. So, like I said before, you know, we know what I'm capable of. I just look to rematch that and run that back, man. That was my 5th title defense. I feel like as a champion and what I've done in this organization, that the performance may not have vouched for a rematch, but I think my resume does.
I've said it. You know, when I came in, I said this is what I was going to do. I said I was coming for that welterweight strap, and there was nothing that was going to stop me from attaining that and achieving that. For a long, long time, I've been on one leg. I've been fighting fights on one leg. When I fought in the Ultimate Fighter finale, I had microfracture surgery, and that's usually an 8-month recovery turnaround. I had to fight 3 months after that, and I fought 3 months after that. And I had to train through that, with that. I've been on one leg the whole time. And coming into this fight, I was in a boot all week. I fractured my left foot, and I was in a boot. I was walking around in a boot. But nothing was going to deter me from achieving what I've been, you know, what I've set out to achieve. And so, you know, I'm hoping that I can go back and have the doctor really look at it. You know, now I get a little bit of time. Now, I don't want that much time because, you know, there's a couple of guys I need to beat up, but I need a little bit of time to let these injuries heal so I can not just be 30%, so I can be 100% inside that cage.
Just really disappointed. I don't know, man. I don't know what happened. I did exactly what I told everyone I wasn't going to do. I let Jon Jones sit back and be Jon Jones. You know, I don't know, I guess sometimes you just go in there, it's not your night, I guess, but that's just not good enough for me. I don't know, I just couldn't pull the trigger. And when I did, I didn't combo up like I was supposed to, and I don't know, man, I didn't do anything I was supposed to do, except for defend the takedowns, and I think I did a much better job of checking kicks than I have in the past, but my cardio held up, so all you fucking idiots can stop talking about it. I mean, that's really the only positive I can take from this, man. It's a whole fuck ton of negatives, that's for sure. I was in there, you know what I mean? And it wasn't, I don't feel like I got ran through. I just kind of got shut down. I mean, I don't feel like Jon Jones just went in there and beat the shit out of me. I just couldn't get going, you know? And I mean, that's Jon Jones, though, I guess. You know, he you know, I said I needed to force Jon Jones to fight me, and I didn't do that. You know, you know, he didn't fight me. He nullified me, and it's gonna haunt me for a long time. And you know, I'm gonna have to get back to the drawing board and sit down with Mark and Scott and figure out what the fuck happened.
It was great. You know, it was a lot of fun. I felt really familiar tonight at work, a little bit too familiar actually. Like in my warm-up, there was like no nervousness, and that was making me uncomfortable. You know, the fact that there was no nervousness, I was almost questioning myself. Am I ready? Am I ready? Am I taking this seriously enough? And I know that I have done everything in my power to be prepared for this, but you know, I think a little bit of nerves are actually a good thing. And tonight, I just felt so doggone comfortable in there. But you know, I feel like that's God's grace too. You know, like, you know, He blesses me to have a sound mind, and so I can't ask for it and then be confused when my mind is sound and at peace with what I'm doing. You know, I feel like in the last round, yeah, I definitely could have done more. I'm not really proud of my 5th round, holding him against the cage like that. But at the same time, you know, there's a beloved Randy Couture who made a whole career out of the way I fought in the last round, holding people against the cage and just chipping away at them. I totally fought Anthony. If you look at the stats will show that I totally fought Anthony. And I feel like it was his job to get off the cage. It was his job to make it a fight. He was the one losing. Anthony's very durable, and he's known to come back and win, even in the worst situations. You can beat the crap out of him for 3 rounds, and at the very end of the 3rd round, he can knock you out. He's known for that. So in a world championship fight, if he's going to allow me to hold him against the cage, I'm going to do that. at the end of the day, you know, it's about impressing the fans and being entertaining. And I have a lot of pride in being that. But I feel like rounds 1 through 4 was what the fans wanted to see. And the 5th round was for me in my camp, just to take home that new belt.
Damn, I was too zoomed in for it. I had to get out.